Hey guys, this is the Villains Demand. I am Evan the Great. I'm here with JVD, and we're here for another episode of Behind the Mask.
And today we are covering the Winter Soldier, also known as Bucky. Real name James Buchanan Barnes.
Might be kin to me.
You know what?
My grandpa's last name is
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
But that's his middle name.
I don't really know. I should know this.
Oh God!
We call him Dutch.
Shame on you. Dutch is the guy that fought the Predator.
There you go.
So, anyways, if you don't know anything about Winter Soldier, I suggest that you watch Captain America: First Avenger, and you watch the Winter Soldier's movies from the MCU. They're awesome.
Yep.
Winter Soldier is hand down my favorite MCU movie.
It's great.
It is, and you really get a really good taste of what the character is capable of as Bucky, which we're not covering here, and I don't think we'd ever probably cover Bucky on a Behind the Mask.
They're the same person.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're really not. But
I mean, okay, would you really? I mean, even though if you did Nightwing, would you do one for Nightwing, Dick as Nightwing, and Dick as Robin?
No.
So, well, there you go.
I guess he's Winter Soldier currently.
But he's got an awesome back issue. Well, he's got some back issues. He's got an awesome backstory, and as a reader, I remember when this came out, completely took me by surprise that they brought Bucky back after, 60 some odd years as this Winter Soldier. It was a real big deal. But anyways, we're here to cover his fighting abilities and weaponry. Yep. So, as we've started out the last time, we'll start off with equipment. Bucky is mainly known for using some type of automatic machine gun.
Yep.
And here on the Behind the Mask, as you can read with Deathstroke, we don't go into, Barrett 9mm and whatnot, because if you were to classify all these weapons by what they really are, it would be strange. Because in comic books, you don't get a lot of that. You just see guys with machine guns, handguns, rifles, shotguns. So, the main type of gun Bucky's known for using is a machine gun. Some type of heavy-duty machine gun, as I said in the MCU. I mean, even at the end of Infinity War, he's still using one.
Yeah.
So, and it's his favorite weapon. Because remember, Rocket Raccoon makes the joke about the arm and the gun and whatnot. So, but as a machine gun, as if you go back to where we've previously used weaponry, we say machine gun holds 30 rounds.
Yep.
And I figure it being his main weaponry, 5 clips. So that is, 150 rounds, which really you go through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Also, something he's very, very known for, which you will see in the Winter Soldier movie, carried a handgun.
Yeah.
That's his sidearm. It's his second.
A lot of times he has, as the Captain America, he has a handgun and the shield at some point.
Yes, but he's not Captain
He's
America.
not Captain America.
And I don't know if we'll ever cover him as Captain America.
Probably not.
Because we've already have Captain America. So, and I like to keep him as Winter Soldier. And as all handguns hold 10 rounds. And being his basically his secondary weaponry, we figured that would be about 2 clips at 10 rounds, so that's 20 rounds for the Winter Soldier. And one thing he is known for, because he is a master assassin, he does carry a sniper rifle. Plenty of covers of him looking through a scope of sniper rifle, and all our sniper rifles hold 5 rounds. Once these characters get caught up in crossover collision fight someone else, sure, you could separate these guys at 100 foot, and you might be able to get a shot off, because a lot of these guys are super soldiers, expert marksmen, but they don't get a lot of clips with a sniper rifle. So, and usually a sniper rifle is a one-shot deal.
Yep.
So, and he's very known for using smoke and gas grenades to cover his tracks, to choke up his opponents, which he will carry 3 each of those. Mr. Great, is there anything else you would like to add to weaponry that you've seen?
Weaponry.
Combat knife.
I was about to say, his combat knife, if you guys want to see a scene, watch him when he fights Captain America.
On the street.
On the street with the combat knife. He is insane. He is I've never seen nothing like it. It was an awesome scene. But even if you take that and you look at what he can do in the comics with his ability and his combat training, he might be one of the most deadly Marvel characters with a knife in his hand.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
And that's his 3rd weapon.
Yeah. Now, and well, the thing is, his what Winter Soldier's mainly known for is Bucky had lost his arm in War II.
Yes.
And fell to his death. and everybody thought he was gone. But he wasn't losing his arm, and he was found by Russian soldiers. They gave him a biomechanical arm. And it basically works just like a regular arm. It listens to his mental commands, and it's actually probably the best part of his arsenal because you consider it part of his arsenal. It's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
So
in many ways, it will help him fight superpowered people.
Yes, and it has quite a bit. And here's the thing: it has an EMP.
Yep.
And he has used it on Iron Man.
Yep.
It also has electrical shock. He can grab you with it and throw bolts of electricity into you. It's hologrammed to look human, which is very useful in fights because he could easily expose his arm to make people think to shoot him in the arm, and it technically would not hurt him.
Nope.
Because it is bulletproof. It is knife proof. It is fireproof.
Yep.
It's strong enough to punch through steel.
Correct.
And when he was Captain America, he can literally take the shield and fling it hard enough to cut people in half.
To cut metal in half.
Yes.
Metal Terrence.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that's original Cap. He is punched through metal with this arm.
Yeah, I'm just saying he throw his shield through that with that arm.
It also has electronic systems in it to jam X-rays and metal detectors. Now, you would think, well, where would that come in handy if he was fighting in crossover collision, which he'll get to? Think about it. An X-ray, there are characters that have X-ray vision.
Yep.
So if they were to look at his arm, would they see just a regular arm? Or would they just see a missing arm?
Probably a missing arm.
So, I mean, that has its advantages, disadvantages. But yes, and the coolest thing with his arm, and I did not know he could do this because I don't read anything Winter Soldier, is I did not know he could detach the arm. And it could crawl around and listen to it.
I read that too.
Yes, and it is pretty awesome. So then it becomes Winter Soldier and the Thing from the Addams Family.
Yeah, he has a sidekick.
Yeah, pretty much. So think about it. Technically, he could drop this arm with a gun, and he could crawl around and then shoot you.
Yes.
I mean, if he needed to escape, he could cover himself while he sent his arm to go to a door and figure out how to unlock it.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, there's a lot of practical ways this arm could help during a fight that you probably technically wouldn't think of.
The side note, a few other things with the arm. From what I've gathered, is also his reflexes and agility is quick enough to use the arm to block incoming projectile weapons from guns.
Yes.
Any other thing you might be throwing at him, spears, guns, knives, swords. He can use it as a shield and a deflector.
So technically, you put it like that, he basically like Captain America, he has his own shield.
Yeah, and he's probably good. He's definitely good enough to catch it because he catches
Captain America's shield in the movie. Yeah,
so he can eject projectiles thrown at superhuman speeds with his arm.
Yes. Now, saying that, as we move on to his physical abilities, Bucky is not a super soldier.
Nope.
Not at all. A lot of people get that confused due to the things that you see him do, and basically that he was Captain America at one time. A lot of people don't realize that. He is not a super soldier at all.
Nope.
He is a peak level human being, but Nick Fury once gave him the Infinity Formula, which he has taken. I think Black Widow has the Infinity Formula, which basically helps you not age.
Yeah.
And but it is unknown at the time that it's made him, to the maximum of peak human condition.
Yeah.
Which you could already say he was already at that.
Yeah.
Because most characters like him are.
Yes.
So, with that, durability, he's taking blows from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Major Ursa. So that kind of gives you, and he wears body armor.
Yes.
Now, you could say maybe some of that's due to being with the body armor that he wears. I mean, because being a human, I can't see him taking too many blows like that, which Spider-Man's known for pulling his punches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that he's been on record saying that plenty of times because all the criminals he's always catching.
He's also been tortured a lot, so he might not show the pain he's really in.
Exactly. Because that's what I was just about to say. That he fights a lot after being shot, after being burned. He's fallen from several stories and got right back up. And he's actually withstand being electrocuted and then killed the guy.
I did not know about that one.
So yeah, his durability for being a peak human, which it often is in comics, is pretty outstanding.
Yes.
But like you said, being tortured so much might be a factor in that.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, because if you look in the movie, every time he'd go on a mission, they mess with his mind. So I mean, even psychological torture is nothing to him. Like I said, peak human ability. So he's a peak level athlete when it comes to speed, reflexes, agility, strength. Except for when it comes to the arm. That's where the thing where he gets a little tricky because I mean his arm is far stronger than probably Batman's arm, Nightwing's arm, Iron Fist,
way stronger.
And because like I said, it's literally ripping off car doors. It's punching through steel. So I mean, so you could say half and half. He's at superhuman levels when it comes to his arm.
Yes.
So I mean, you would literally say that his arm is, I would say, stronger than Captain America's.
It has to be.
I mean, you would think so. It would have to be. Main thing when it comes to the Winter Soldier is his fighting skills.
Yeah.
As a boy, I think he enlisted in the Army during World War II, like at the age of 15. So he was trained at a young age just by the U.S. military. And then that's once he became Captain America's sidekick.
Yeah.
Then Captain America trained him.
So he's been trained by the U.S. military, Captain America, and
the Russians.
The Russians.
And he was part of their Red Room program. That's how great of a head-to-hand combatant that he was. And he trained Black Widow. So that right there tells you something because Black Widow has went toe-to-toe, hand-to-hand with a lot of great fighters in Marvel. So that right there just shows you how well of a hand-to-hand combatant that he is. And let's see, he's beaten a lot of Steve's foes, and Steve's a super soldier.
Yeah.
So, and that right there just says a lot about him being a peak human and fighting somebody like Batroc the Leaper, Red Skull, Crossbones.
I think what is not being that, but with the arm, it puts him pretty close to Captain America.
Yes. And a lot of things you see him do are very Captain America-like.
Yeah.
So to say that he's not a super soldier is true, but to say that he's not capable of doing those things would be wrong.
Yep.
Also, he's gone toe-to-toes with heroes like Wolverine.
Yep.
So, and they actually have a long-lasting history with each other. I don't know if you've read any of that.
I didn't read it, but I mean, I know it's...
because even when he was an assassin, he's crossed paths with Wolverine a couple times. So, and he's went toe-to-toe and survived against Wolverine, and Wolverine's Marvel's main hacking, slashing guy. So that right there just kind of says something. And on top of that, he's a master assassin and spy. Yeah. And like I said, when he worked for Russia and he was the Winter Soldier, he was kind of this ghost, this boogeyman. And a lot of kills underneath his belt. And right there, master assassin, master spy, and crossover collision with a lot of the battlegrounds that we have. Being a spy, being a master of stealth comes in handy.
Yeah.
So that's something not to forget about because we fight a lot in cities, we fight a lot of areas where there's a lot of cover. So with anything, with that, is there anything else that you would like to add to the Winter Soldier?
I don't believe so. I mean, we basically got everything covered between, the regular gear he carries. He's basically peak human with the arm, so he's kind of Captain America-ish. But he's also kind of spy-ish because of his sniping ability and all the training he's got, different ways of training. He's very, very well-rounded.
So I guess you could say physically, because he's a sidekick, he's Nightwing with one Captain America arm.
Yeah, there you go.
So he's the weird guy from The Lady in the Water. You seen The Lady in the Water? M. Night Shyamalan, where the guy just works out with one arm and it's really jacked and he's got a normal arm.
That's weird.
It is weird. It looks
episode
weird.
of Rick and Morty.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Perfect analogy right there. But with that, if you're interested in finding some first appearances of Winter Soldier, Captain America Comics #1 is where to go. But if you want the first appearance of Winter Soldier, check out the start of the Captain America 2005 series. He shows up in issue 1, and I think his first main appearance is issue 5. So with that, this has been Behind the Mask. I'm JVD.
I'm Evan the Great.
Keep reading, guys.